I just brought it up on my computer here.
Cool.
So I'm like, I know you
I got
wanted
I
to
gotta
read
learn this. This
the reader. You got to
this
what?
is really cool.
Yeah. So I thought, well, we'll just try and do it here. What? Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, were you able to read any of it?
What's that?
Were you able to read any?
Oh, well, yeah. I was. What
Okay.
a the intro was
Awesome.
kind of long, so I went through the intro and I started chapter one.
Oh,
Good
perfect.
stuff.
I thought we could just talk about the intro and then next week we could do chapter one. Does that work?
Cool. Yeah,
And
totally.
then we can do a couple chapters if we read. Well, I'm probably read more than chapter one in a week, but for now, since we're getting started, I thought we could just do introduction. Cool. Um, yeah, the intro even has some good stuff in it. One of the things I liked. Tell me, tell me something that stuck out to you. I can go to where you want me to, or you could share either way. I think you could share, but whatever you want to do.
Well, the first thing that I highlighted that I loved was each of us has a natural wellspring of talent and ability buried within. Love
Yeah,
that. Something I actually firmly believe.
I I do too. I know where's that at? I have it. It's in this first part, I think.
I
Yeah,
just want to know how I know this guy. I'm like, how do I know Orin? He sounds so familiar.
it'll
Like
probably hit you one day.
he doesn't own Melaleuca, does he?
No, he does not.
Oh,
No, no, he owns Life Leadership, Starfish with Chris Brady, and
okay, okay.
then some other owners too, because you can become an owner of that company as well. So, but yeah, I'm sure it'll hit you. You Google him on YouTube, maybe able to hear some of his talks, and it may trigger something. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, which I have not done, but I definitely can do that.
Yeah,
It's funny. The introduction actually should be its own chapter. I'm like, why is that an introduction? There's so many nuggets in there.
yep. And I love the analogy they use here with Ira Yates, where he sold his profitable business to go back to ranching, and he bought 1,000 acres, and they struggled through depression, barely able to live. And then he heard about how Texas has lots of oil fields. Decided to drill on his ranch, and set up a test rig and found that he was living above one of the biggest oil fields in North America. And his fortune was made. That's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, that's so crazy,
I know that'd be awesome to be able to find that.
right?
But I love how he, just like you pointed out, the analogy of it is like, just like each of us, we are all sitting on that natural wellspring of talent and ability. Because I believe that we are God's children, right? And He's our divine Father. And because of that, we have divinity in us. And who's the master leader? God, right?
Right. That's
He's
right.
the perfect
100%.
example. And so, not to make it a religious discussion, but I think that's where it comes from, to be honest. So, and I love
I'd
this.
agree.
I love this. It says everyone is called upon to lead in some capacity sooner or later in life. And I think that's true too.
Yeah, whether you're a dad or a husband,
Yep. You still have to
mother
lead.
or yep.
Mother, father, you know, wife, could be just even at work. You're going to lead in your own way, even if you're not the manager, right?
Right.
Manager and leader, they talk about that a little bit, that it's leadership is not management. Totally
No.
different.
Yep.
Awesome. Let's see.
Yeah, who
Uh, what else did you like? What else stuck out to you?
what's his name? Oh my god, I just drew a blank. They hold on. They talk about him in this book.
Yeah. You talking about John Maxwell?
John Maxwell, yeah. That's what he says. He says that a lot. That leadership is not management, and management is not leadership.
Yep.
Not the
Just because
same.
you're given a management position does not make you a leader.
Right.
If nobody's following you, I love his quote. If nobody's following you, you're just going for a walk in the park. It's one of my favorite quotes.
It's so true.
And Chris and Oren put here, leadership is about doing the right thing. Management is about doing those things in the right way. So kind of differentiates a little bit there.
Interesting. Yeah. Yep.
What else stuck out to you? Well, it's just kind of just a few pages, but
You know, all of it. It's just,
all of it.
I don't,
Oh, did. Let's see. This really resonated with me too. Life should be about purpose and meaning and cause and fulfilling our personal God-given destinies. Without exception, this is achieved through,
that is
with,
totally true.
or people. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be
Well,
successful without people, I don't think. In other words, don't
without
have people.
people, right.
Yeah, you just can't. So,
Yeah,
so let's see.
you can't just lead yourself. And you gotta be around people, you need to lead people. And it's those people that will take you higher.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're around the wrong people, they're going to take you down.
Oh yeah.
So it's so important to be around people that like-minded, that build you up instead of tearing you down. So that's part of one of the big reasons why I created the community is so to bring that type, bring us all together so we can help each other and cheer on each other and build each other up and learn and grow through it. So,
Right. That's
um,
that yeah.
sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to.
No, I was just agreeing.
Oh, awesome. Um, the closing words of the introduction. The place is the wellspring of your personal potential and that of your organization. The case we wish to make is that your potential is bountiful and sufficient to fulfill your life's calling. It sits there now, waiting to be tapped. This is accomplished by taking responsibility to lead in the areas of your life where you have been called. As you grow in your leadership ability, you will revolutionize your life. May the pages that follow serve to enlighten, instruct, edify, teach, and encourage, but most of all, may they inspire you to set up a drill rig of leadership in your life and organization and harvest the abundance buried within.
Yeah, I love
So,
that analogy.
very good.
Yeah.
Um, so awesome. Well,
I think
that's the
that's
introduction.
like that's the trick, right?
Yeah,
That people don't know what they're called to do.
right. I know,
Yeah.
and it's hard to find it sometimes. But I think everybody has a calling and a something that they're supposed to do, and I think if they want to find it, they're going to find it.
Right.
Yeah.
If they don't want to find it, that's okay too.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Whatever makes you happy.
Everybody's different, right? So awesome. All right. So then it dives into the first chapter.
Yeah, we can start that. I
Go for it.
don't know where I ended. Oh. So that's the thing with the Kindle. It doesn't give you page numbers. So
I know it doesn't. That is a pain.
but it's interesting how they interviewed all these
Oh yeah.
important people and they all have different ideas of what leadership is.
All these different quotes, huh? And like 10
Yep.
of them. Some of them I recognize, some of them I don't recognize even today.
I don't recognize any of them.
Yeah, but the only one I guess I recognize is Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Besides
That's
him, yeah.
that's it.
You don't know who that is, you got issues.
No, that's true. And then here's a quote from John Maxwell's book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I don't know if you've read that.
It's probably on my bookshelf, collecting dust.
That's all right. It's all good. It's a good book. I remember back in, I think it was in 2017, my sister texted me and my brother, and she's like, I found this book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, and I'm going to read it, and I want to challenge you guys to read it with me. And I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Because I
Cool.
hadn't dove into leadership books. I hadn't dove in since like 2012, I think. So I kind of took a hiatus on personal development, and it's interesting because I could tell when I wasn't reading books and when I wasn't listening to audios
Mm.
versus when I was doing it. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
I could tell I was growing and I hadn't done that. And even before she texted me, I was starting to feel like, oh, I got to start doing that again. And when she said that, I'm like, okay, this is where I start. And I just took off from there and read this book, and very good book. I need to go back and read it again. I just read another book of John C. Maxwell. Um, that's a really good one. Actually, Michelle O'Neill suggested it. It's John C. Maxwell's Today Matters. So that's a good one too. That would be one
Oh
of the
yeah.
books we'll
Okay.
probably read too.
I think I've got two of his books inside. Definitely the 21 Refutable Laws. There's
Yeah.
another one. I don't know what it is.
He's
Funny
got
funny
some.
story. Want to hear a funny
Yeah.
story?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
So back in when was it? 90, like 89 or 90. I met how did I meet her? I met a girl, and honestly, I have no idea how we met. No clue. But when we met, she was in love with this Mormon guy,
Uh
and I
huh.
think this is why we connected. She wasn't Mormon, and he was just leaving for
That was
his
mission.
ministry,
Okay.
and he was going to Italy. And so her and I started hanging out, went out a little bit. She taught me how to play guitar, and I played guitar, and then I started going to her church. This is when I started learning. I learned a lot about the Mormon church this way too, because she would take. I'm like, but you're not Mormon. How do you go? I guess it's called a ward,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So she would take me, and we would listen to the whatever they were talking about. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so her church, it was a non-denominational Protestant church in Spring Valley, and John Maxwell was the head pastor of that church.
Are you kidding me?
And I'm like, at
Wow.
the time, I'm like, he was just a pastor.
Right.
I'm
Didn't
pretty sure he
recognize.
was there in the 90s.
Yeah. No, he
So
talked
it
about
wasn't
it.
until later when I was listening to him and he mentioned the church, and I'm like, wait a second,
Yeah.
I know Skyline Church. Wait a second. And I went and I Googled it. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Just a small world, and nothing really stood out. It was just another church service and a pastor up there preaching.
Right.
But and maybe it wasn't even him, right? I can't remember that far back. But to know that, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. I know that church. I was at that church. Don't know if I heard him,
Right.
but that connection was just wild.
Yeah. That is wild. That's pretty cool. Yeah. That
Yeah.
was part of his. You read Today Matters. He talks about that, about his ministry and different things and stuff. And
Well,
so,
cool. I will read it. Today matters.
pretty cool guy. I
Yeah.
love I mean, so, Chris and Norin, they quote all these different ones, and then um, they they quote John Maxwell's leadership quote. Um, they say here, I'll just right here, they say these insights and definitions are good and helpful, and some we like particularly, but John Maxwell gives an exemplary definition quoted here at length from his book, The 21 Laws of Leadership. This is
Mhm.
my favorite definition of leadership. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. People have so many misconceptions about leadership. When they hear that someone has an impressive title or an assigned leadership position, they assume that he is a leader. Sometimes that's true, but titles don't have much value when it comes to leading. True leadership cannot be awarded, appointed, or assigned. It comes only from influence, and that can't be mandated. It must be earned.
Right. So true.
It's very true. I remember, experience I had with that. Actually, in my career, I wanted to be promoted to a manager. That was kind of the next step in my career. And I was talking to my manager. manager. He was the director at the time about it, and he at that time, and he said before we can do that, you have to have the team follow you before you get the title. Basically, that's what he was telling me. And I first, this is before I've been was reading this and different things, and kind of made me frustrated because I totally misunderstood leadership. Right? That's what we're taught. We're taught it's all about a title. Climb that corporate ladder, get that title. The higher you get, more money you make. Life is better.
Right.
Life is great. And, I have come to learn that that is not the case. Not
Right.
anywhere close, right? Because the higher you climb that ladder, more time it takes and less time with your family. And you may or may not make more money. Sometimes companies promote and your title is your raise, right? Which some of what
Interesting.
yeah. And, anyways, and so I was like, okay. And that was a good challenge. I mean, what I don't know. I don't know if it was natural for me or what, but as I worked on that and worked with the team, they started just following me. And I got that behind me. And when he left the company. I wasn't the manager because they still hadn't promoted me yet. In fact, they, my career is interesting and probably why I'm kind of sour on careers a little bit because, which I'm totally fine with. I was supposed to get promoted and they never did it. The
Oh,
CIO never, they take it to the executive team and then they decide, right, where I was at. And he never did it because he ended up getting pushed out because of some political things. And he told my manager that he didn't do it because he didn't want to sour my chances and have me connected to him.
interesting.
I appreciated that, but it was frustrating at the same time because I'm like, because at the time I'm equating, I get promoted, that means I get a raise, that's going to help my family, right? And that's what I
Right.
needed at the time. And so it was frustrating. And then, anyways, another time I was actually brought into it was a smaller company that I'd gone to from that after, not long after that, actually. And the COO brought me into his office with our project manager, and they said, we want to promote you to deputy project manager and help, my project manager, basically, who was our manager and led the whole project we were on. It was a government contract at the time. And I'm like, great, I'd love to do it. And I go home, I come back the next day. He pulled me back into the office and he said, well, the CEO won't let me do it, so I can't promote you. So I was promoted and then it was taken away from
What?
me. Yeah, from the
Oh my
COO.
God.
I mean, it was just a weird backwards company and super frustrating. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, it was so maddening. And then a couple other times when I was supposed to be promoted, it didn't happen either. So I was like, fine, this is this is dumb. And I did finally get promoted. That would have been around 2018, I think, 2019. It was after I'd started, reading these books and listening to audios more again, I guess, that I finally got promoted. But you know, after four like failures, 3 or 4 failures, finally happened. But then as that happened, I kind of knew already that it didn't matter. But I wanted the raise, needed the raise, right?
Right.
And I was kind of already doing everything that I was already doing before. But anyways, so it title does not matter because if you have a title, because um, I've had a boss who had the title. He was a director, but I had a hard time following him. And I think some of the team members did too because of the way he led, you know, and he really didn't lead. And so, um, if you don't have that influence, like John Maxwell says, leadership is influence, nothing more,
Right.
nothing less, then you can't lead. Period. It doesn't matter title or not. So
And then
Anyways,
people don't give their full amount either. If they don't like their boss or their leader or their manager, whoever, you gotta be able. You're right. You can't lead.
nope, you can't.
Everything hurts.
Nope, you really can't. Um, I totally agree with that. And a lot of people, I was just trying to find.
That would actually be a great story for building your for legacy.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably take clips of this and make videos of it, if you don't mind.
No, not at all.
um, let's
So I
see.
ended on the page where, yeah, I went through, yeah.
We went through that, I'm sure. I was just trying to
Chapter 1 was
find.
pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, here's the quote, I think. So what they came down to, they talk. I love how they talk about. Have you read the part where they um I don't remember where they're staying. Him and Chris and Orne are both staying somewhere with their wives, but they stayed up late and they start going through this exercise trying to define leadership. And I think they talk about it in here. Um, and then I think this is what they come to. Um, so, for the purpose of this study, then we will fuse the above commentary into the following. Leadership is the influence of others in a productive, vision driven direction and is done through the example, conviction, and character of a leader. One big thing I think, and they're going to talk about it in here too, is character is huge when it comes to leadership. Because if a leader does not have character, how can you have influence on somebody?
Yeah, that makes so much sense. So true.
And you can't. Um, in my opinion, at least not good influence. Because if you're not honest and you don't have integrity, you don't have character, people aren't going to trust you. So, how do you do that? And the same thing in our businesses, right? We have to have character in order for people to come to know, like, and trust us. And
Mhm.
if that doesn't happen, like Michelle teaches, we're not going to be able to attract customers. We're not going to be able to make sales, right? Because nobody's going to be comfortable buying from you. That is so true, right? You only buy from people that you trust.
No, like and trust.
Yep,
Pretty
exactly.
much. Why would you buy anything from somebody you don't trust?
Right.
Anything shady.
Along that, there's a couple other quotes I like in here. Everything rises and falls on leadership. That's another John Maxwell quote. Um, and that is so true. If you don't have leadership, it doesn't go anywhere. It falls. We've seen that in our country. I've seen that in my work. I've seen that in even in my church. Right? People are people. Nobody's perfect. And if they
Right.
don't have leadership, things fall. It's a void. And so leaders got to stand up. Um, and then leadership is character in motion. I don't know if you got this far, but
Ooh, I didn't. I actually results was tonight's reading, but
perfect. Well, then I won't go any further.
that's fine. What was that last
um,
one?
oh, the last one is leadership is character in motion.
Character in motion. I love that.
Yeah. And so you read about that. The Ray Kroc story is very cool. Good story. However,
Wait a
we
second.
watched. What's that?
Where's the Ray Kroc story?
Right
Oh,
here
yeah, yeah.
before results. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's before results, not after, because oh my
Yeah.
god, Ray Kroc.
It's before. I mean, it's good what he did. We watched the movie, and if the movie's true to what happened, he didn't have a whole lot of character.
No, right, he didn't.
He didn't, and that I don't. I mean, they use this because he had influence and he created the. I mean, he did create the franchising, and all that, and he was able to lead in that. But in his personal life and other things, he did not have
Yeah, I'm
character.
curious how much is Hollywoodized
Exactly,
and how much is true. Hey, Matt,
exactly.
hold on,
That's
hold
kind
on
of
one
where.
second.
Okay.
Sorry. All right.
No, no, totally fine. Not a problem. Um, so anyways, I love that leadership is character in motion,
Yeah,
and
that's really
we
good.
we can end on that unless you want to say something at the very end. Or what anything else you'd like to share? It would be great.
I'm good. I mean, that's I'll read through this tonight, and, I might use that in one of my lives. Not my lives, one of my videos. I like that. I
I'm
don't know
gonna be
who
using
Les
stuff.
Sorbe is.
Let's see. So that goes. The chapter one is little. Do you want to try and go through? Think we can get to the end of chapter two this week, or is that? Oh, that's chapter two is kind of long, and chapter one. Why don't we for sure get the end of chapter one, and then if we can get through chapter two, let's do it. Does that work?
Yeah, chapter 2 looks good. Yeah,
Okay.
sure. I'll finish chapter 1 for sure.
Yeah, me too. I'll go back and reread it. I'm actually on chapter three, but because I started it a while ago, I got a head start.
That's alright. I'll catch up.
You will. I'm not. I'm gonna go back and reread from here forward. Is what I'm gonna do, and we'll just go from there. So
Yeah, look forward to some other members hopping on with us too and meeting other people. That'd be awesome.
yes, it would. Let me stop the recording here.
And if not, that's cool too. Just me and